Hey, I said I'd do this. And I almost always, never not, potentially shouldn't ever deliver my promises. So, you may be asking, why did you do this to yourself? If you were to ask, it wasn't so bad for me. Don't try this. You will no longer have fingers with natural colors. And while it is cool to have purple fingers, it is not exactly recommended. I've learned a lot about this game since doing this challenge last. I can actually parry now. It's no longer Walmart when Black Friday's on anymore. Anyway, here are the rules. I can only use the feedbacker to deal damage. Violent difficulty. While I can use the whiplash, I am discouraged from doing so. I cannot skip any encounters. Alright, it's ultra killing time! Okay, the first room. At first, it looks impossible. I mean, come on, 4 Andres? There's no way you can fight them fair and square. And you would be correct. Unfortunately for them, I'm not known for playing by the rules. You see, if you stick yourself in this corner and carefully position yourself on the head of an Andre, they'll just kinda stand there. Honestly, it's kind of a problem in this game. Anyway, I get all of them low and kill 2 of them quickly. Then the gay skeleton will arrive. What you need to do is parry the disaster gay and get the lightning explosion to hit the 2 Andres. Then, finish off the ferryman while moving every second to avoid the virtues. Then, punch the virtues. Okay, that's the biggest hurdle for a while. The next room has a swords machine, a few sentries, and an invincible mind flare. What I did was focus down the sentries and swords machines, and then quickly lured in the mind flare's balls. Her balls do a lot of damage, so we lead them into a downed enemy, and the rest are just cleanup. The next room is kinda difficult, but we use a similar strategy of luring in enemies and then finishing up the leftovers. Alright, now is the time for fuckery. First things first, I need to get the swords machines off my back, and I gotta do it quickly, thanks to the piss thrower. So I just danced around the blade robots for a while, until I heard the sentry set up. Then I focused 100% on that, and parried it to get it off the field. Then I do the lure trick and bully the remaining enemies. Okay, now, I focus on the virtues, since they're going to be the main issue. I try to get parries in against them, no matter where they came from. And I accidentally killed the enemies via friendly fire, so we take those. Anyways, I fight off the single MILFs in my area. And then fight off the single DILFs in my area. Fun fact, the skull lights enemies on fire, and sissy fishy's ishies take extra damage and give blood when on fire. So I do that as often as I can. I also tried to parry them, but they are the one enemy in the game that I seem to struggle with the most when it comes to that. Okay, now, the fucking. This room sucks, I think you know that. So, after dying for a bit, I decided to take a different approach. I ran to the back of the entire room and hit the checkpoint, while spawning all of the enemies, and then I worked backwards. Somehow, it became easier when I did that, despite there being more enemies to deal with. Dying also seemed to have no punishment when I did that, because when I did, only the Maurices were left. Anyways, we now reach the room we all know and adore. There is no special trick here. I just have to play out of my mind, parry every attack to regen health, and keep an eye on absolutely everything. Can I do it? Well, of course. What do you think I am? A coward? You didn't see that, okay?
Hey, how did you deal with Kojima and the Andres?
You ask stupidly. Well, you see, I used Kojima. I used his mortars against him. I jumped above everyone and led the mortars to the Andres so that I didn't have to get up close. When all of the dangers were gone, I circled the arena and parried all of Kojima's attacks, so I didn't die. And after that, I watched the stalker kill himself with the widest grin on my face. Now for the easy part. Panopticon. I just punched him once and scurry around like the little rat I am.
Hi, Sevi. What are you...
I knew that rat bastard would come.
A visitor? Indeed, I have slept long enough. The kingdom of heaven has long since forgotten my name, and I am eager to make them remember. However, the blood of Minos stains your hands, and I must admit, I'm curious about your skills, weapon, and so, before I tear down the cities and crush the armies of heaven, you shall do as an appetizer. Come forth, child of man, and die.
I have come to reach you, but your attack's extended warranty. Yeah, I don't know what clicked in between my last session and this one, but I found Sisyphus to be quite easy here. It requires full attention, no doubt, but once I was in the groove of things, all it came down to was realizing what attacks were parryable. For be gone! I parry and go left, or you can't escape! I dodge all of his attacks until after the second to last one. Stay still and dash into the final attack while punching. Parry the roundhouse kick when you can. And when he says, "This will hurt!" stay still until the flash is shown, and then punch 3 times. Max damage that way, since he stays still. For all of the other attacks, I just dodge out of the way. Keep this up for 3 minutes and you've got a dead king in our hands. And he's... kinda sideways.
The life and times of King Sisyphus.
And kinda bad with it, though.
And I don't regret a second of it.
Hey, I just wanted to talk to all of you really quickly. A few days ago, some guy joined my Discord server and posted some fan art, but after a bit of research, I discovered it was stolen. I was a little bit upset by that. But the fact that a few of you went out of your way to post some fan art after all that is greatly appreciated, so thank you. That's it. Get out of my house.